Hi, welcome to Betty on the Go. I'm your host, Betty Gudel. We're live streaming live at 720 Ouellette at the Accelerator. Today, my guest is Sasha Miletic. He is been voted one of the best business, marketing, and financial minds from around the world. Stay tuned. He has some incredible advice for you. Never did that before.
That's right.
Okay.
We'll work around it.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Betty Gudel, and I have my guest, Sasha Miletic. He is an award-winning realtor in the Windsor-Essex area. Welcome, Sasha.
Thanks for having me, Betty. Looking forward to it.
Great. Now, one big question everybody has is distress sales, bank foreclosures. Everybody wants to get their hands on a really good deal, the cheapest house with the best value. Is bank foreclosure your best bet?
Well, most people think it is, don't they? I mean, best bank foreclosure, distress sale, property's in trouble. They seem like a really good deal just by the nature by their name, distress. When in actuality, ironically, it's totally opposite. They are not always the best deal. In fact, most bank foreclosures, they end up selling for above market value. And that's mainly because banks do something absolutely unique. They actually price properties properly. Okay, they're not overpriced. So if a house is worth $200,000, a bank will price it at $199,000, and they'll create a bidding war. Because if you look at the market, half the market that sells, about 50% of the market, houses on the market, 50% of the for sale signs that you see out there sell. The other 50% expire. And the reason they expire, majority of the time, is because they're overpriced. So the ones that sell, they end up selling for about 5 to 6% above the asking price. So houses that are selling for $200,000 are asking $209,000.
That's really alarming.
And that's half the market. The other half of the market, they're asking $215,000, $220,000. So when a bank lists a property and they're asking $199,000, they get a bidding war, and the house that's worth $200,000 sells for $204,000 or $205,000. So they're not necessarily the best deal. And actually, if you look at the actual agreement of purchase and sale, it's written by the Ontario Real Association's lawyers to protect both the buyer and the seller. If you're buying a bank foreclosure, half the clauses that are there to protect the buyer are scratched out. So you're pretty well buying it as is, caveat emptor, buyer beware.
Do you know why I think that people get this notion that they're so much cheaper? Because there are these seminars that state how you can buy foreclosures and buy real estate and make tons of cash. So people kind of think, wow, I need to get my hand on some of these foreclosures.
Well, I've been doing this 25 years, Betty, and if it was that easy, I would do it. It's the way you get a house cheap, there's a couple things you need to do. It's all about timing. All right. Right now, if you look at this, 10, 15 years ago, realtors had an advantage because we get access to the information before the public. Now with technology, if you're on the system, we've got our office, for instance, not our office, our team has the ability to put you in the database and get listings sent to you the second they're listed. So if we know what area and price range you're looking at, we could fire off those listings to you the second they hit the market. That way you could get there first, put an offer within a couple hours, and avoid getting in a bidding war. So people, unless they're on that system, you're at a big disadvantage over other people that are on that system. So you need to be there fast, and you need to avoid a bidding war if you want a good deal.
That's why being internet savvy and social media savvy like you are is very important when you look for somebody as your realtor.
Oh, yeah, the realtor they have to be internet savvy more than anything, because they have to have the ability to put you on some kind of a preferred VIP computerized buyer system where we allow you to get priority notifications to hot new listings the second they hit the market.
And that's why you were voted one of the best business marketing and financial minds from around the world. And you were recently interviewed on some of the biggest networks, NBC, CBC, ABC, Fox Network, all the affiliates around America on Premier Experts.
Yeah, that was, I write a lot of blogs, and I was asked to co-author a book on how your business is transformed in the digital age. What I wrote on, the book is called Victory, World's Leading Experts in winning winning health, wealth, and success in the new economy. So I wrote on marketing your home online due to the blogs that I wrote last year. And again, online, it's all about traffic. And I wrote the different ways. Back, if you look back 12, 13 years ago, real estate agents, whether you're selling private or with a real estate company, it was more or less the same because we all put the house in the newspaper. We did open houses. We put in the real estate magazines. And pretty well the only thing a real estate agent did over the general public was we put on the MLS system. Okay? Now, what's happening is the digital age, the franchises out there, people that are internet savvy, they could drive a lot more traffic to that house, whereas one time they couldn't. So it's all about driving traffic. If you get 2,000 people looking at your house, you'll have a lot better chance of selling it than if only 50 or 100 people look at it. So it's all about eyeball traffic, qualified eyeball traffic to the house. And that's what I wrote about, how to do that.
Very interesting. And you co-authored this, so there are a few other different authors.
Yeah, there's authors on financial planning, insurance, anything. People's business has changed drastically since 2000, since everyone's business started going online, and they all wrote about how that's transformed their business, how using the internet has transformed their business, and the way they can add value to customers.
And open houses.
I've sold a house from an open house probably in the last 5 years,
Really?
Maybe more.
Wow.
The stats that I look at, the odds of you selling a house are less than 1% from an open house. And if you don't believe me, the easiest way to do this is pick up the paper and count the open houses on the weekend, and then compare that to how many houses are listed on the MLS, which is about 4,000. So if you're looking for a house, the last thing you would do is drive around and look at such a small sample size. What you need to do is pick your area, pick your price point, and go look at 100% of the houses in that area. So real estate agents do open houses because, it's for our business, it's great. We could sit down, watch TV, and buyers come to us. And if that house doesn't suit them, there's 4 or 5 houses around the corner that we could set up appointments to show them at a later date. So we use that to capture leads, not necessarily to sell the house.
And that's a lot for a real estate agent to sit in one house for 8 hours for a whole entire day.
Well, it's pretty well 2 to 3 hours, and we love doing it because it's you think it's a lot, but it's easy. We get buyers coming to us, but the people that have been in the business for a while, the people that have a dynamic web presence that get traffic coming to them, we don't need to sit there for clients. We generate enough clients that we don't need to sit in an open house, waste our clients' time while they go running around and use that as a fishing net to catch prospects. So
that's true. Now, Windsor is a huge municipality. We've got Windsor-Essex, we've got Tecumseh, we've got Sandwich West. There's so many different areas. What's a great area for investments if you want to buy a house and almost guarantee that you're not going to be losing any money within I know there's no such thing.
Death and taxes, I think that's what your only guarantee, right? Mm-hmm. The best areas that have appreciated the most right now, if you're looking at percentage-wise, the new area, Banwell, Clover, that area there, those houses, if you look at what the people bought them for 10 years ago to what they're selling for today, that price increase has probably been the most out of all the areas in Essex County.
It's
and
grown,
that community, though, it's built as a community. There's walking trails, there's schools, a lot of growing families, and people with families that are growing, they want to live there because of that.
The movie theater,
everything is right there. Everything's walking distance. Riverside, you're looking at South Windsor. Those areas are always growing steady, no matter what. Tecumseh's growing. Some places aren't growing as fast as others. I don't want to name those areas, but let's just talk about the ones that are growing.
Exactly.
LaSalle grows, Amherstburg. That's all steady, nice and steady. If you look at Windsor's average prices, there's certain pockets that have not grown in the last 15, 20 years. So if you bought a house there 15 years ago, if you look at the sales figures, they've been selling for the same price 15 years ago as they're selling today. So that's that hindered Windsor's average price growth. But right now, it seems like with the interest rate so low, everything's going up. Even though those prices are going up a little bit, but not as much as the other areas that I mentioned.
Do you ever walk into someone's house and think, oh, I really need to offer you some advice about decor, just little things like decor, home staging?
Well, when someone first calls me out there, I tell them, they always say, we don't want to call you out until everything's ready. Mm-hmm. And I try to tell them, don't do that. Let's see it the way it's right now, and maybe I could save you some time in wasting to fix things that are not necessary and help you get your house prepared without that much effort. Because ultimately, I want you to yield as much as you can without outlaying as much money as you can. But almost all the time you walk in and you tell people. And a lot of the things, I mean, my objective is to get you to sell your house for the most money possible, and net you with the most money in your pocket. So whatever I can do to do that, I'll do that. And my website has 10 videos by an award-winning home stager that Remax hired. And they're 2-minute videos. There's 10 of them. There's checklists. Follow those. You won't outlay that much money at all, and it'll help you get on your way. The main ones are clutter, depersonalizing. It's hard for people to do that, but take down your family pictures. Make your house roomy, neat, clean, and paint if you have to. So go rent a $70 a month storage bin. Move things in there. Half your packing is gone. Empty half your closets. Like little basic things like that. I mean, you'll net out about $4,000 or $5,000 more in your pocket.
That's right. People don't want to walk into a house and step over toys and walk into a bathroom
a lot of
with
it is
pantyhose
simple.
hanging on the...
Yes. Like I told, there's, especially people with kids, like kids under 5 years old, 3/4 of the toys, put them in the basement in the corner, and I'll have the kids play when there's showings. Just get the toys, put them back in the corner, and that's it. Just make the house roomy and bright.
Painting. A lot of people can't visualize a room when it's something that they wouldn't really paint themselves, like maybe bright orange or red or blue. It might be very nice for the home owner, but for a buyer, they might be a little dismayed.
Yes.
So what colors do you think?
You have to go neutral, and again, the person that buys that house will probably repaint over your neutral. But the earth tones, taupe, not light, yellow, white, they're just earthy tones, taupe-ish tones.
Almost something a little bit warm so you can throw accents.
Yeah,
and
earth tones, light earth tones. And for all it's worth, pay a consultant $300-400 before you paint. Have them pick your colors for you.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, it's cheap. Paint, especially if you're handy, if you paint yourself, that's the best return on your money.
Kitchens. A lot of people walk into kitchens and there are trends with kitchens. Sometimes it's a lighter maple or sometimes it's dark. And if something looks very dated, like the 80s, even though it's in really great condition, some people kind of go, Yes. So what do you suggest with that?
I'm actually a bad person to suggest this stuff because I'll be honest with your viewing public, that part of my brain for decorating doesn't work. I usually hire consultants, but when I walk in, I know what people like, what they don't like, but if you ask me to decorate this room, I wouldn't be the best person to ask that advice. Kitchens are one of the most important things in a house because most people live out of the kitchen. I mean, they come home, they eat, they speak their kitchens, master bedrooms, family rooms, but kitchens and master bedrooms are two huge rooms. If your kitchen is dated, that is a big outlay of money, but your return on that, Remax did a study 7-8 years ago, and kitchens offered actually one of the higher returns on your money.
Wow.
Yeah, pools don't, obviously, so.
No.
But you enjoy it for those 3-4 years.
Exactly, exactly. What are some of the renovations that are downfalls that people...
Well, rather than renovations, why don't we look at lack of renovations?
Okay, lack of renovations.
Your yard, curb appeal.
That's right, I was going to say.
I mean, what does that cost you? Cut the grass, buy some fertilizer, water your grass. If you're going to sell your house, I mean, even if you don't have underground watering, go buy a hose and a watering sprinkler system and water your grass. Get your grass looking neat, paint your front door, change your mailbox if it's falling off. First impressions are lasting impressions. Neat. Less is more. Live by that concept. Don't put, 1,000 things on your yard. Simpler the better. I tell people when they're looking at houses that are on our computerized VIP buyer program, when they get the list of houses, narrow it down to 15, 20, drive by them, and usually when they do that, they cut that list from 15 down to 5. So they knock off 10 just by the way they look from the road. So the road, the curb appeal, which is probably one of the least expensive things to do that. And most of the time, it's not adding things, it's yanking things out, right? Yanking out, if you got too much shrubbery, yank that stuff out. And then when you get in, again, a lot of these things aren't fix-ups. Not, I want to try to keep to your question, but a lot of it is decluttering, cleaning, make things spacious.
Just like in your kitchen, you don't want to have your kitchen
yes.
cupboards open and have things fall out.
Yeah, empty. I mean, that's my house. I've got kids. I live in my house.
But
everything's coming out.
Right now.
But if I was, 3/4 of the stuff would be coming out. Countertops would be empty. It'd be clean. Definitely.
Exactly. What about photos and video? Is video very important when you're listing?
Video's everything, because it's not so much how video does a couple things. As a homeowner, video saves you time, and same with photos, because people won't be coming to your house and wasting your time if they don't like it from the video. So would you rather spend time in your house with your family, or leave your house for a couple hours as someone who's not qualified goes through it? Second thing where videos are good for, they're viral. Whenever you post a video, it goes on YouTube, on your website, and you can social, well, they should.
Great, yeah.
Well, they should be going there, and through that, you can social bookmark it. So I know you're on Facebook. You've got 1,000 friends, thousands of friends. I've got 1,000 friends. If I see your video and I like it, I share it, and that goes out to all 1,000 people. So whenever you do videos, that's all viral. And videos also go on cell phones. As you're driving by, you can look at that video on the cell phone. And our listings have a unique ID number. I don't know, text numbers. You could text it. Once you text that number,
I've done that before.
Yeah, that you get linked. You get an email sent to you instantly, or a text sent to you with a link. You click on the link, and there's a video. So as far as marketing, instant information, you get more qualified people in there, and that video is viral. Houses that we get that have a lot of shares, by far, they outsell the other ones that don't.
That's right, and it's so much nicer where you can just kind of go in and look at the rooms and maybe the bathrooms and see how spacious they are, and then you call up Sasha and say, I need to see this house.
And you're qualified. Either you're going to call me where you're qualified, where you're salivating because you like this house, or you just keep going and you don't waste anyone's time. I mean, you win both ways.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with award-winning realtor Sasha Miletic. And we're going to talk a little bit more about his book and his website and how to get in touch with him.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're watching Exist TV, streaming live from downtown Windsor, from the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and this is Betty on the Go with Betty Gudel. We'll be right back.
Don't let your business challenges intimidate you. In the Accelerator, you are not alone. With its state-of-the-art concept and location, you get the best environment to start your business. You have access to open desk or private offices for you to start your new business. Also, you have access to lounge, kitchen area, reception, meeting rooms to receive your clients, and support from entrepreneurs in residence and other entrepreneurs at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator. By entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs. This is the place for your new business. Come and visit and see for yourself.
Welcome back to Betty on the Go. I'm here with Sasha Miletic, award-winning realtor. If you'd like to get in touch with him, he has a terrific website, one of the best websites that is very decluttered. It's very easy to find things, and it has a plethora of information. You even have a home buyer's kit, a home seller's kit, how to stage your house, pitfalls that you may fall into, and I'm going to give you his website. First of all, it's www.sashamiletic.com. SASHAMILETIC.com.
That's impressive.
Yeah. He was also my realtor, and he did a great job. So, yeah. I was going to say that's his book. So that way you can spell his name properly.
Can I say
Make
something
sure.
last minute?
Yes, of course.
The biggest difference that people that sell their house for top dollar and people that buy a house and save the most is preparedness. If there's one single thing that you can do your homework, be prepared, do research. You don't wake up one day and put a for sale sign on your lawn. Usually there's a couple months that go by. Research realtors, research what you need to do, ask questions, interview 2-3 people, and your gut will tell you who to go with.
So what happens if you pick a real estate agent and you're not a realtor and you're not really happy? Is there a contract that you've signed? Can you get out of it?
Well, unfortunately, you can't. It is a contract with the brokerage. If you sign with me, if you're not happy with our service, we always give you an unconditional release, so you're never bound to stay with us. If you're not happy, if we don't fulfill what we promise. But that is a legal contract, and 9 out of 10 times you have to stick with it.
Okay. And on your website, you have something that says if you don't sell someone's house in 120 days, then you'll buy it.
Yeah, the
Have
biggest.
you ever bought a house?
Luckily, I have never bought one.
Very
I've got
good.
many offers because they sell. They usually sell. The biggest, that's our guarantee sales program, and what it is, it's an insurance policy. Because do you buy a house first, and if you buy a house, you get up with 2 houses, or do you sell your house first? You can't find one, you're homeless. So what this is, it's an insurance policy. If you buy one of my listings, I will guarantee the sale of your house for 95% of its fair market value. So that way you can go on this house here with a cash offer, knowing that your house will be sold. Now, once your house sells, which they almost always do when you price it properly, you get all the money. The difference, if it sells for more than I guarantee it, you get the difference, not me. So what it is, it's peace of mind for you, it's insurance for you, and it allows you to go in there with a cash offer and negotiate the best price possible when you're buying.
Interesting. I know I keep coming back to this book. I think it's fantastic. Where do you get this book? Can I get it off of your website?
You can get off of Amazon.com. Yeah, I didn't put the link up on my website because I'm redoing the face of my website. If you go to Windsor or Sasha Miletic Victory, I think that's the website. I've got a special website just for that. You can go to my website. You can call me. You can go at Amazon.com. Just type in Victory Sasha Miletic. It'll pop up. You can buy it from there. Or if you're thinking of selling your house, if you call us in for an interview, I'll give you a copy for free.
Oh, very nice. Well, you know what? I just got a copy, and I'm very excited to read it because there is so much information. It's not just about real estate.
No, it's about everything. That's why these books sell so fast. That's why it hit the bestseller list, because it's not about real estate. It's about everything encompassing in your life. It's about your finances. There's medical stuff there, insurance, anything that could help you out. Anything. The business has changed in the last 10, 15 years, and it's how business is done today and how it could benefit you moving forward.
Very nice. And if someone doesn't sell their house in over a year, what's their advice?
Get a good realtor. Here's the deal with selling your house. You're going to sell it or you're not. So it's like being pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. There's a tracker in the back of a listing. So if your house is on the market for a year, it's going to say 365 days on the market. So if my buyers look at your house, if anybody's buyers looks at your house and look up the history, they'll say 365 days on the market. So the first thing that comes to your house is something's wrong with it. Unmotivated seller, no price reductions. Why am I even bother wasting my time? No one's going to do anything. That will never go away. So interview 3-4 agents, let them come up with stats, show you what your house is worth, and if now's not the time to sell it, great, but don't waste your time because all the days that it's on the market, you can never erase that. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes for people to do. But watch this. As a real estate agent, if I list your house overpriced, even if it doesn't sell, I'm picking up buyers, so I'm making money off of it, right? Because people are calling me, asking me for the price, and I can sell them something around the corner. So agents take overpriced listings because we can make money off of it, right? But unfortunately with the home sellers, it really puts you in an adverse position when it finally does come time for you to sell because there's a big history there that will never go away.
I've heard of when a buyer is putting on a bid, sometimes you can really insult the property owner if the bid is too low. How do you know how to bid?
It's up to your realtor. Okay, you got to listen to your realtor because you got to. Here's the deal. Let's go back to that bank foreclosure that I talked about. That's worth $200 and it's priced at $199. you got to go in there with a bid at 197, which is only 2,000 under the asking price. And if you can get that without getting into multiple offers, you're ahead. So you really got to know what the house's value is. Conversely, if there's a house asking 240 and it's worth 200, if you lowball them at 210, you're still overpaying by $10,000. So it's not how much less you bid. You need to know, what is that house worth. You need to look at what have houses sold for recently similar to that, and what's the competition in the area. If you look at recent sales and what's currently for sale compared to that, you'll know exactly what it's worth. It's simple. You need to know. You just have to have the right information to make the informed decision. That's where the realtor comes in. He's got to give you that information because we have it all, and then you're the deciding person how much you bid on that.
And people love reduced signs. So if you put a house up that says it's worth this, but it's reduced, people always think, wow, what a great deal, even if it's a little bit.
Well, reduced from what? Right? What is it? If that house is worth 200 and you go from 240 to 230 or 240 to 235, I mean, it's useless. What matters is if you're selling your house, if you really want to know what your house is worth, have your realtor schedule 10 showings in your area of houses that are similar to yours. You'll know to the penny what your house is worth.
And one final thing. When you do fall in love with your house and you're doing handstands, you're going, oh my gosh, this is the best one, this is the greatest. And then you say, well, let's go for the final walkthrough. And the buyer says, I don't need to do that because I love the house. What's your advice on that?
You always have to do the final walkthrough because you don't know when they moved. I mean, I've heard of a story before when they did the final walkthrough, the guy carpeted the house and he carpeted around a bookshelf. So when they took the bookshelf out, there was a hole in the carpet. You need to do the final walkthrough because when the carpet's all gone, when the picture frames are all gone, you got to make sure that house is in the exact same position from the day you've seen it to the day before closing when you're actually moving in. You want to make sure there's no holes in the walls. You want to make sure everything's working. You want to make sure the appliances aren't switched. You want to make sure it's the same from when you put the offer. You want to make sure it's the exact same then as when it is the day before closing.
So hypothetically speaking, if you walk in for the final walkthrough and there is something wrong, maybe the electrical that you notice something's hanging out of the wall, is there a stipulation before buying it that they have to fix it?
Well, you could discount the price. I mean, you could tell your lawyer to withhold $500 on closing if you think that's what it's worth, and then they have the option. Then, if you want to close the deal, you either fix it, and I got to look at it, or you deduct $500. I mean.
And now, what happens if the person who is selling the house is dependent on getting another house? So all of a sudden, the house sells and they just say, oh my gosh, I have nowhere to go. What's your advice? Do you think that you should maybe just rent something, move somewhere for a month because you've sold your house? Or
well, I mean, my family's been doing this forever, and I don't think we've ever had one easy sale because we got a price to accommodate getting that price. We had to do a quick closing. My wife, we gave birth to our boy, firstborn. He was premature. He was 4 pounds. And we had to move in with our aunt while my house was being built. We lived out of bookcases or out of boxes, and the stuff was in storage. So if you have to accommodate a sale, if you're getting the price, usually if you have to do something that you don't want to, there's usually always a compensation with that. Just find relatives. You might have to do a double move. I mean, someone's going to pay for that, right? Or if you need your house sold, you might have to do that. And that's totally normal.
That's right, because if you sell your house at the price that you want, you should be celebrating and say hooray. We're here with Sasha Miletic. His website is www.sashamiletic.com. Co-author of the book Victory that you can get on Amazon.com. And you can find some more information on his website.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed my time here.
And I can't believe this. I have a copy, so I'm going to read this, and I'm going to be so much more intelligent after reading this. Thanks, Sasha. That was very unexpected. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for having me.
And I've learned so much. I can't believe that distress sales are actually not a deal. Now we know the whole truth.
In most cases, they're not, no.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
You're very
Obviously, you've been around the industry for a very long time, and you're experienced.
Yeah, thanks to viewers for allowing us to have 10,000 views on YouTube.
And thank you, viewers, for allowing us to have 10,000 views on YouTube. And next week, you have to stay tuned because I have some very eerie coverage and some guests from the public ghost hunt that we did at the Capitol Theatre. And we're also going to be talking about Botox, and there's going to be a demonstration with Dr. Ruth Markovic. Thank you.